This is the Audi Q8, a new flagship luxury SUV from Audi. It can be likened to the sporty, trendy version of its little brother, the Q7. The Q8 is a bold, new styling attempt from Audi here. And there's certain things that really just jump off the page. One, it's that beautiful light show from the LED headlights and LED tail lights. There's the octagonal grille, which replaces the hexagonal grille that we're accustomed to seeing on Audi models. It seems oversized, but when you see it in the metal, it's all very well proportioned. There's pulls and creases and pinched lines all over the place, so that not a single panel seems slab-sided or boring. It really is an energetic design language. It's powered by a 3-litre V6 turbocharged engine, and that's going to make 250 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque. And this is a rather powerful engine, but it's a rather heavy vehicle. This engine is mated to an 8-speed Steptronic gearbox, and the combination is said to be good for an average of 9.1 litres per 100. In reality, we've seen about 10.1 on the open road, with an average of high 12s. The interior is Spartan, minimalist, and very, very stylish. They've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb and they've redesigned it. It's one of the few cars that you're going to find with 3 large touchscreens for display and control. There's, of course, virtual cockpit in front of you, which displays, well, a plethora of information, depending on what your heart desires. In the center here, we've got this wonderful large touchscreen with haptic feedback, icons that you can arrange and rearrange like a smartphone. And then the air conditioning and climate control is also taken care of with a slightly smaller touchscreen down here in the center. You can even control the rear AC. So then what's it like to drive? Well, speed and power has never been this easy to manage or this accessible. It's easy access to performance. It rides rather comfortably as well, but because of its weight and the SUV nature, it's not going to handle the way you would expect something with its type of power and engine to handle. And that's fine, because it is still an SUV. We're not going to pretend that it is a barn-storming race car. I have a few questions around some of the plastics that are used. These are the few detractions on the wiper stalks and on the multifunction steering wheel. Seems a bit budget basement, Audi A3 quality rather than Audi A8 quality. One of the small little takeaways. Other than that, well, it's quick, it's excellent, it's quiet, it's comfortable, but it's not thrilling and it's not exciting. There's very little sense of occasion when you drive this, and that has been an Audi downfall for a very long time. It's too stoic, too anodyne to come across in an interesting and exciting way. So I'm wondering now if the GLE has a little more of that. And this is it, the Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 4MATIC AMG-Line. It is a successor to the ML range of SUVs by Mercedes-Benz, and as such it's styled to look like one. It has that large grille with slightly squared off headlights. At the back you're going to get a forward sloping C-pillar with a floating roof element and nice muscular rear arches. It really does look like it's carrying that ML DNA. This is the 450, which means that it's powered by a 270 kilowatt 3-litre straight-six turbocharged engine. It too is going to make 500 newton meters. But it has a party trick. It has a 48-volt electrical system that provides a mild hybrid boost to boost that power by 16 kilowatts. The starter generator rests by the gearbox and helps provide that boost, well, when the turbo's not providing it. So you get this beautiful, seamless power and acceleration. It's mated to a 9G-tronic 9-speed gearbox, which, well, you really can't fault it. Their programming is spot on. This combination is said to be good for 9.4 litres per 100 average, and we're getting about mid-10s on the open road, so a very similar claim to the Audi. The Merc has a few party pieces, and the Merc and the Audi tussle backwards and forwards. The GLE has 9 airbags. Q8 only has 6. The Q8 has a standard panoramic roof, whereas this one, it's an optional extra. This one does have a fantastic off-road system. The 4MATIC all-wheel drive system is very, very clever, and you can set it for the type of terrain that you're going over. On the Q8, you've got descent control and a very basic off-road program. The interior of this one has also been redesigned, but it's a little more classic in its approach. So while they've got this MBUX twin flat touchscreen infotainment and display system here, it's the venting around it that looks a little more traditional. The scalloping on the dash is familiar. It's not as stylized as the Audi, and that makes this feel a little friendlier. They've also done away with the recent Mercedes-Benz round air vents and gone back to a squarer finish. Once again, a nod to the ML with its boxy design cues. There's sporty grab handles here in the center, and it's wonderfully quiet. The GLE definitely rides a little more SUV-like than sports car-like because of the off-road prowess, I think, and it's also on a slightly heavier profile tyre. This one runs on 20-inch wheels and tyres, whereas the Q8's on 22-inch wheels and tyres. Optionals, I might add. So this one tends to be a little more wallowy. You feel the weight, it's not as sure-footed on the road, where the Q8 feels a little more sports car-like. And it doesn't seem to be as hot off-road. So that changes things a little bit. And that poses an interesting question. Which one would I rather have? The Q8 is definitely sterile, whereas this one's a little more warm and welcoming. I want to spend more time with the GLE. It feels like a companion rather than the Q8, which just feels like a bouncer, where you're never quite sure whether he's your friend or not, despite the fact that he greets you by name. So that's it, the Audi Q8 55T TFSI Quattro and the Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 4MATIC AMG-Line. As similar as they are on paper, the two of them couldn't be more different. The Audi Q8 is a sharp-dressed man, but he knows his way around a screwdriver set. Nothing wrong with that. The Mercedes-Benz GLE 450, though, is more Marlboro man. He spends a little more time outdoors, but trust me, he cleans up rather well. The thing is, if it was my money, and we're talking about 1.5 million rand here, I would have a tough time not choosing a BMW X5.